Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. This is my first breakfast meeting. My first meeting was the tea that we had with Dria's Southern Cakes, which was so much fun. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Okay, I'm going to ask you all to be brave for a second. If you would, can you raise your hand if your business has ever been a source of stress or anxiety? Yes. I know, yes, that's all of us, right? I know, both hands. Yes, me too. Me too, y'all. All right, now I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands for this, but just think to yourself, is your business causing you stress or anxiety right now? Yeah, you can raise your hand if you want to, but you don't have to. And I want you to think about what that feels like in your body when you experience that stress and that anxiety. I've had clients come to me and tell me, I feel like I'm drowning. Or they've said, I feel like I'm stuck in a machine and I can't get out. Or I feel like I'm being pulled this direction and this direction and this direction and this direction, and I just don't know what to do next. I have been there. In fact, this time last year, I didn't think that standing here in front of all you wonderful women was even possible for me. I want to tell you the story of how I went from having panic attacks in my bathtub multiple times a week to being able to be here speaking to you today about how to infuse joy into your business, about how simply walking past my desk would give me heart palpitations to now when I enter my office, I literally feel a sigh of relief. And before I tell you that, I want to introduce myself. I'm Christy, and as Diane said in her lovely introduction, I am a business coach, and I would love if you would tag me on Instagram if anything that is inspiring to you today kind of connects with you. You can take a picture of the slide, tag me on Instagram at Christy Johnson Creative. I would love to connect with all of you. I'm a business coach, like I said, and I help women build joyful and life-giving businesses through aligned strategy, sustainable systems, and regular self-care. I believe that your dream biz is possible if you take a few steps to take care of yourself. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. I started out as a photographer. When I was 16, I started my photography business, and I started taking pictures of my friends, their senior portraits and things like that, and family pictures. And then as my friends started getting older, I started taking photos at their weddings, and I fell in love with wedding photography, and still have a wedding photography business that I co-own with my sister-in-law called Stephanie and Christy Photography. I also spent 5 years as a piano teacher. I have a master's degree in piano performance, and I grew my piano studio to 23 students until I realized that teaching was not for me. It takes a very special person to be able to do that, and I just didn't have the patience for that. In 2019, I had a private photo editing business. I moved to California with my husband, and I wanted to work from home. And so I took my skills as a photographer to help other photographers and edit their photos for them. And I grew my business from 0 clients to fully booked in under 6 months. And then the pandemic happened, and people weren't taking photos. I was living in California, so nobody was doing anything. And so that business shut down after that. And then most recently, I owned a creative agency. I did web design, brand design. Not me, I had my team helping me. We did web design, branding design, and a lot of help with back-end tech and systems for your business. I worked with a lot of artists and course creators to help them with things like that. And I worked with my family. So here's a picture of us, my brother on the left, and then my sister-in-law and her brother and his wife. So all my family, it was a family business, and it was so much fun until it wasn't. So I want to tell you what happened. I burned out. On the outside, my business looked very successful. I had 4 team members. I was signing clients and things were happening. But the truth is, I was chasing growth and numbers, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I had scaled my business, and I really couldn't afford 4 team members. I could only afford 1, to be honest. And things would have been fine. It could have worked out, but then I got sick. And after my husband and I got back from our Christmas vacation, I got a cold. And I was like, okay, whatever, no big deal. So I kept working. I didn't really tell my clients I was sick because it's just a cold. It'll be better in just a few days, right? Well, I got sick again, this time with COVID-19, and that took me out. And what did I do? I kept working. I didn't tell my clients that I was sick because I hadn't yet equipped my team to be able to take my place. So I was still working. And then after I recovered, a little bit later, I got the flu. And I kept working and I was not taking care of myself. So I was sick for about 3 months. And while I had COVID, I didn't sleep. There were 7 days where I didn't sleep except an hour, maybe a night. And after the flu, when I had that, there were 7 days where I didn't sleep except an hour a night. And I actually went delusional and had a mental breakdown. You can ask me more about that later if you want. It's a really long story. And really, truly, everything fell apart. Clients were leaving me because I was making mistakes. I wasn't able to complete work for other clients, and so I had to refund them. I destroyed several relationships with some of my longtime friends because I was having a mental breakdown. I was unwell, and my marriage was struggling, and I finally ended up saying, I can't do this anymore. So I let go of my remaining clients. I let go of my team, which was very painful because they're my family. And when all was said and done, I had lost about $45,000. And someone told me recently, I was telling them this story, they said, wow, I've seen that happen with people before. When you're not aligned with your sole purpose, everything falls apart. And what happened then was I grieved. I felt so much shame because I had lost so much money. I had let my family down. I'd let my team down, let my friends down. And I spent weeks barely getting out of bed, months really, and it was not a great place in my life. And after 15 years of being a business owner, I truly thought I was done with business. I was like, there's no way I can show my face in the business world again. This is too embarrassing and too sad, and I don't have anything to show for all this work that I've put into my business. So after I spent a lot of time grieving and processing and healing and going to therapy and talking with my business coach, I did something radical. And I didn't do it by myself. I had my family, my husband, and my coach supporting me. And what I did was I leaned into joy. I started painting. I started drawing. I started making music, making silly videos with my friends, going on walks, gardening. I'm not a gardener. Everything I touch kills, but I was out there doing it. I was doing anything I could to get back to myself, and it worked. Now I'm here today. I'm joyful, just like I was in my past. And this is kind of an oversimplification because what you don't see as I'm telling you this story are really the months of grief and healing and what that took. But as I was leaning into a joy, I had an idea. What if business could feel like play? Could I make my working time just as joyful as my time off that I took when I was gardening and painting and drawing and all those fun things? And I realized I could. And that's where I developed the Joy First business model, combining passion, purpose, and play for increased profitability. So I want to talk about how you can do that and incorporate this into your business and your life. I dissected joy into 3 different parts. Number 1, passion, which is the work that lights you up. Purpose, which is the impact you're meant to make. And play, the creativity and enjoyment and fun that helps to keep you and your business sustainable. And I want to encourage you today that joy absolutely is a business strategy. How can we infuse joy into your business strategy? Well, it starts with taking apart the 3 parts of business strategy. As you can tell, I love the number 3. It's my favorite number. I think it's the prettiest number. The 3 parts of business strategy are your vision, which is where you're going, and your forward big picture ideas of where you want your business to go and take you. Your operations, which is how your business works, how it runs, and marketing, which is how you get people to know you. So what I want to do with the rest of my time today is talk to you about how you can infuse passion, purpose, and play into your vision, operations, and marketing. So let's dive in, starting with your vision. Your business should be a vehicle for your dream life, not a barrier to it. Let me say that again. Your business should be a vehicle for your dream life, not a barrier to that. So often we get stuck in the operations and the work and all the stuff that we have to do to make more money and grow and grow and grow. And we realize that we're holding ourselves back from the dream life that we truly want to create. So I want to talk to you about how to align your passions with your vision. So imagine a life and a business that lights you up. I have a few ways that you can do this. Number one, dream beyond the to-do list. Ask yourself, if I could wave a magic wand and my business could completely solve one problem in the world, what would that look like? Here you're going to dream big. You can use this to write your vision statement for your business or your mission statement that will guide you throughout your business journey. I also would encourage you to visualize your ideal day. If you haven't done this before, it's a really great exercise. And think about, what are you doing on your ideal day? Who are you working with? How do you feel? And really embody that person, that future version of you in her dream life. If you have trouble with visualizations, I actually learned recently some people don't form mental imagery in their brains. This is a real thing. I have a friend who has it. You can write a journal entry from yourself in an ideal version of your dream day and say, dear diary, today I woke up and did this and went to this place and I felt this. And this really is a great exercise to help you tap into your dream life. And what you will often find as you're doing this exercise, I've done it with a few of my clients, is that the life that you have now is actually usually not that far off from your dream life, because you're building your business, you have values and your vision and everything. And you can say, hey, if I just make a few small changes, I could really be embodying my dream life. For me, the one thing is I want to live at the beach. And if that happens, I'll invite all of you to come and we can have a big party. So for example, this is an example to kind of help you picture this. Maybe a designer realizes her dream is to spend half the year traveling, but her business doesn't allow her to do that. So she begins building a vision for a fully remote business with asynchronous client communication. This is actually a business model that could work if that is your vision. Now let's talk about purpose and vision. This is where you're going to anchor your dream in meaning. So define your legacy. What impact do you want to make in the world? What do you want to be remembered for? A lot of people like to write their own eulogy. It sounds morbid, but it actually gets you thinking about what impact you want to make. Who would be at your funeral? What would they be saying about you? And how would they be talking about you? This can really help you define your legacy and infuse your purpose into your life and your business. You can also align your growth with your values. Make sure your dream doesn't just look good, but it feels good and it connects to your core values. When I was running my creative agency, everything looked great. Our marketing was on point. Our branding was on point. We had this really cool video done by a professional and we looked so cool. And actually, it was connected to my core values as well. I was helping my family. I was working with amazing clients, but that business didn't feel right in my soul. It was causing me so much stress and anxiety. And so that wasn't the path for me. I also want you to connect your long-term goals to your deeper why. And the way that I do this is I like to go 3 whys deep. So if I were to ask you, why are you in business? You might say, to make money. And if I say a second why do you want to make money? You could say, well, I want to support my family. And then if I ask you a third why do you want to support your family? You might say, well, because family is the most important thing to me. And if you go 3 whys deep, you usually get to your core belief, your core value. So as you're setting goals for yourself in business, ask yourself, why do I want to do this? And go 3 whys deep to make sure that it's truly deeply aligned with you. So here's an example. An entrepreneur dreams of building a big agency, but realizes that she really wants to mentor women in underserved communities. So she redefines success around mentorship and impact, not headcount or revenue alone. It's really important to define success for yourself. It's going to look different for each of us. Now let's talk about play and vision. You're going to stay open to possibilities. A lot of times we try to control things, and when we try to control things, things tend to fall apart and we get frustrated. But I would encourage you to leave space for serendipity. Let yourself dream bigger and wilder than what's realistic. Do you think that Olympians are being realistic about their dreams? Well, actually they are, because they made it to the Olympics. So if you dream bigger and wilder and think about what you want to do, if you could have your ideal world and think about that magic wand again, then you can allow yourself to be surprised at the possibilities. Be flexible. Allow your vision to evolve as you do. I've spent a lot of time shaming myself for how my businesses have have grown and then failed and grown and then failed, because I told myself, well, I'm a quitter. Oh, I'm inconsistent. I can't stick to anything that I do. People are going to think I'm flaky. But the truth is, my businesses have all evolved as I have evolved. And that's actually a great thing, because it means that I'm able to support myself through those challenges that arise in my business. And when I grow and change, my business can grow and change. You can use creative tools to tap into your vision, like vision boards, journaling, daydream walks. Being in nature is so healing. Meditation, anything that helps you tap into imagination and your higher self. Use those creative tools to your advantage as you are working through your business vision. For example, a photographer always dreamed of hosting retreats, but thought it was out of reach. So during a vision day, she let herself dream without limits, and that sparked a plan to co-host a creative retreat within the year. So an action step for you all. I want you to implement a joy filter for your decision making and for your vision. So anytime you are setting a goal for your business, ask yourself, is this going to bring me joy? We're going to Marie Kondo it, okay? Is this going to spark joy in your life? Then if the answer is no, maybe it's something that you should pass on. Exactly. All right, let's talk now. We've talked about your vision. Let's talk about your operations. This is where you're going to streamline and support your joy. This is where a lot of us get tripped up, because this is actually doing the work. But the way you run your business should support your well-being, not hinder your well-being. So let's talk about passion and operations. I want you to do more of what you love and less of what you don't. It's really as simple as that, but sometimes we can't get simple ideas. So we got to go deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper. You could create a daily flow. Identify energy draining tasks. When you're sitting there at your desk and you're like, oh, I hate this. Write that down, okay? And structure your day to prioritize work that lights you up. You can I would try to spend about 80% of your time doing work that lights you up, living in your zone of joy. A lot of people say zone of genius. I don't really like that phrase. It doesn't speak to me, because I don't really think of myself as a genius at anything. But if I think about what's going to bring me more joy, then that can really help me to do that. You can automate and delegate. So those tasks that you're like, I don't like this. You can use tech tools to automate things. There's a lot of automations that you can do. If you're like, I'm not techie, you can hire someone to help you do that. Hire support for admin tasks that you dislike. A lot of people struggle with this because they don't want to give up control, and they think that, oh, well, only I can do this. No one's going to be able to do it better than me. But if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to do anything. So it's important to take care of yourself and spend most of your time on those energy draining tasks. And when your capacity is full, it's time to automate or delegate and bring on some support. Set boundaries with intention. Boundaries protect your passion. So turn on automated responses during your non-working hours. I was talking with a client recently, and she said, I'm drowning in client communications. Everyone's contacting me all the time. They're sending me Instagram messages, Facebook messages, texting me, emailing me. And I was like, why are your clients texting you? And she said, well, they're my friends. I don't know what to do. Like, I can't say no. And I was like, no, you tell them, hey, I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with my husband right now. Can you send me an email about this and I'll get back to you tomorrow? You got to set those boundaries. You can also set response time expectations in your communications, in your signature. You can say, hey, my office hours are Monday to Friday from 9 to 5, and I will respond to your email within 48 hours. Make it 72 if that's what you need. You get to decide, because you're the business owner. For example, a designer, she hates sending client onboarding emails, so she creates a workflow with automated emails so she never has to send them again. This is possible. If you don't know how to make that happen, you can ask me. We can talk about it. Now, let's talk about your operations, purpose and operations. This is where you're going to build a business that supports your mission. So I would encourage you to set up client experience workflows. You can write down all of the processes that your client goes through as they're working with you, and make sure every touch point, every communication that you're giving to them reflects your core values. You can simplify your decision making by creating SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. It sounds boring, but it really does help you to not waste your energy reinventing the process, and it helps you when you're ready to hire someone and bring them onto your team. Stephanie, my sister-in-law, who owns my photography business with me, she and I just went through this just this week. We were going back and forth about a question a client had asked us, and then we realized, wait a minute, we have all this information on our website. Why don't we just say, hey, this is a great question. Check out this webpage. And we were like, oh, we should have done that. So having SOPs helps you not waste your energy reinventing the process. Align your pricing with impact. Charge what allows you to sustain and support your mission. For some people, that might be charging luxury prices so that you can live a flexible life. And for other people, that might be charging lower prices so that your services can be more accessible to the people in your community. Here's an example. A course creator, she wants to make learning more accessible, so she sets up a scholarship program to allow her to give back to the community. That's also something that you could do, is to have a scholarship where you can give back. And let's talk about play. This is my favorite thing, play in operations, where you're going to make your work feel fun. Use tools that feel good. Pick project management systems or scheduling tools that work for your brain. You don't have to use the latest and greatest tool just because everybody is using it. Notion is really popular right now. You don't have to use it if you're like, I don't get it. Don't use it. Use something that works for your brain and tools that feel good. Pen and paper is totally fine. Spreadsheets, totally fine. I still do my bookkeeping on an Excel spreadsheet, and it works just fine for me, okay? My accountant is actually happy. He's like, wow, you're very organized. Yes, I am. Thank you. You can gamify your tasks, especially those tasks that you don't like to do. You can turn repetitive tasks into a fun challenge. You can invite your friends to work with you, have a co-work day when you have to do those tasks that you don't like to do, or you can treat yourself. I did this when I was a private photo editor and had 15-hour days. I would be like, okay, once I get this done, I'm going to walk over to Starbucks. I was living in California. I could walk to Starbucks. It was great. Really bad for my wallet, but really great for my mental health. I could walk over and get my pumpkin cream cold brew, and that was a little treat that I gave myself to kind of make the work that I didn't want to do more fun. Infuse creativity into your work. You can add personal touches to your emails, your proposals, your client gifts, and take play breaks. This is really important. You need to spend time doing your puzzles, reading your books, crocheting, playing in your garden, because these types of activities really fuel our soul. They calm our nervous system and regulate us and allow us the space to be creative. When your brain is just running on like fumes, it's not allowing you the space to be creative because you're simply just surviving. So it's really important to take those breaks to make sure that you can tap into your creativity. So maybe a coach loves snail mail. So instead of generic welcome emails, she sets up a system to send fun handwritten postcards to new clients. You don't have to do that, but maybe that's something that you want to do. So here's an action step for you. Audit your business for those joy draining tasks. Go home this week. Anytime you're feeling that, I hate this, or where you're just like, wow, I can't get through this task, then write it down. Sometimes it could be our natural hormone cycle that is preventing us from doing that work, and you can think, okay, I'll do this next week. But sometimes it's really, if it's a consistent pattern, it's really a task that you should not be doing. You should pass it off to someone else, or make it more fun by gamifying it, treating yourself, or inviting your friends to do it with you. Now let's move into your marketing. Marketing is a big one. This is where you're going to attract clients who align with your energy. When you market from a place of enthusiasm and alignment, the right people will notice. When you market from a place of fear and scarcity, people are going to notice that as well. When I was studying for my graduate piano recital, I was struggling on this really simple piece of music. It was slow. It should have been really simple, but I was just so stressed about it because I was like, I want this to sound like the most beautiful thing that you've ever heard. And so I was playing it for one of my friends because we like to perform for each other, to give each other feedback. And he said, what are you feeling when you're playing? And I said, well, I'm afraid that it's not sounding good. And he said, well, people are going to be able to tell if you're afraid that it's not sounding good. Can you instead focus on how beautiful the music is and how creative you want to be with the music. And that's true with your marketing as well. When you're scared that you're not going to get those clients, people can tell. But marketing from a place of enthusiasm and alignment, people are going to notice that. So let's talk about passion. Promote in a way that feels exciting to you. Choose platforms that you enjoy. You do not have to be on TikTok. You do not have to be on Instagram. Everyone says you have to, but no, you don't. You get to decide. If you love email, prioritize email. If you like writing blog posts, write blog posts. If you like networking, go to networking events. Choose what works for you and talk about what excites you. Share content that feels natural, not forced. You don't have to talk about things that other people are talking about. Talk about what is exciting to you. You can also repurpose your content, make your marketing easier by reusing your content in different formats. That can really help out a lot. For example, a service provider, she dreads posting on social media, but she loves deep conversations. So she launches a podcast instead of forcing herself to post daily on Instagram. That's me. I love talking. I have a podcast and I don't really like Instagram. All right, let's talk about purpose and marketing. This is what's really going to help you connect with the right people. When you infuse your purpose, what really matters to you, what brings your life meaning, what brings your business meaning, you're going to connect with those people that you really want to connect with. So get cleared on your ideal client. Who do you actually enjoy working with? Think about those last 10, 5, 2 clients that you've worked with that you really have enjoyed working with. What do they do? What are they interested in? That's okay. That's totally okay. What are they interested in? What things do they have in common? And that can really help you kind of define what your ideal client is. And then you can speak directly to them in your marketing. You don't have to speak to everyone. Just speak to the people that you want to work with. Talk about your mission. Talk about the why behind what you do, not just the what, because people who are aligned with your mission are going to want to get aligned with you too. Great marketing attracts people that you want to work with and repels people that you don't. It's okay to be controversial because you don't want those people working with you if you don't want them. So great marketing is like a magnet. It attracts and it repels. Sell with service. Focus on how your offer genuinely helps people. So selling becomes easy when you actually believe that what you're offering is helpful to people. And if you don't believe that it's helpful, why are you selling it? Or maybe you have a block, like I have struggled with a lot, of self-doubt or a lack of confidence where you think, I don't know if I can really do this. I don't know if people are actually going to work with me. That's something that you can work through those tools that I mentioned, like journaling, meditating, going on walks, or talk it through with a therapist, a friend, a coach to help you overcome those blocks in your confidence. For example, a brand strategist, she loves empowering small businesses. So instead of posting just generic content, she shares her clients' stories and she goes in depth with those stories and shares behind the scenes content of her work. All right, let's talk about play and marketing. This is where you're going to show up as your full self. It is really important to lean into what lights you up. If you love talking, try voiceovers or live streams. Sherilyn is great at this. She live streams all the time. If you love that, then do that. That's a great thing. If you love aesthetics, focus on your visuals like mood boards or behind the scenes photos or Pinterest. That's a great way for you to get your stuff out there if you're really into visuals. You can turn your hobbies into content. Share the things that make you you. Your favorite playlist, your morning routines, your love of books or coffee or nature. And make your marketing your creative playground. Try themed series, challenges, storytelling formats that excite you, like client glow ups or before and afters, or what I wish I knew when I started, or something like that. There are so many ways. The possibilities are endless. It's really important to put yourself into your business. For example, my brand, you can see it's very colorful, it's very bold. That came from an art piece that I created in therapy on my life story. I created an art piece about my life story, and then my brother turns that into the C of my logo. So those colors in that art piece are what turned into my brand. Here's an example. A designer who loves fashion, she starts incorporating retro design into her posts and talks about how her style influences her work. Her content becomes more fun and more memorable because she's infusing the things that she loves. So here's an action step. Integrate play into your daily business routine and into your marketing. It's important to be consistent Everyone who is an Instagram expert or a SEO expert or a podcasting expert, any type of marketing, they're going to tell you to be consistent, but consistency looks different to all of us. For some of us, that might be posting every single day. For some of us, that might be posting once a month or sharing long-form content once a month or whatever that is, be consistent. But within your schedule, allow yourself flexibility and freedom and creativity, because if you feel suffocated by your structure, that's not going to give you good content. So incorporate play into your daily business routine. Okay, how is all this going to make you more money? Because as you notice, the title of my talk is Combining Passion, Purpose, and Play for Increased Profitability. Okay, how's the money going to come in? Well, yeah, exactly. Passion correlates to energy. If you are feeling energetic but energized by your business, you're going to be more consistent because you enjoy it. And when you can be more consistent, you're going to make more money. Purpose correlates to clarity. And when you're clear on your purpose, your marketing is going to attract the right people. And that's going to turn into more money. Play, I like to think of it as connection. People buy from brands they feel connected to. When you're showing yourself, then people are going to get excited about that. Let's go a little bit deeper. Your joyful vision will keep you motivated. When your business feels good, you're going to be more consistent and more productive. And your sustainable operations will lead to longevity. Burnout leads to business failure. I have seen that in my business. But sustainability leads to higher lifetime revenue. Even if you're growing at a slower pace, over time, it's going to give you a higher lifetime revenue. And your marketing will be magnetic. Joyful, confident marketing attracts dream clients who align with your values, and that's supposed to say, and repels those who don't. Okay, here are my key takeaways for you to just kind of recap. Number one, joy absolutely is a business strategy. Number two, burnout is not necessary for success. Bless you. Number three, aligning with joy attracts the right clients. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait. Take your pictures. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm standing right in front of it. I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you. All right. Okay, here's some action steps. Implement a joy filter for your decision making. If it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. Or get someone else to do it. Audit your business for your joy draining tasks. What are those moments that you feel de-energized and work feels like hours? Integrate play into your daily business routine. That can look as simple as going outside and taking a walk or sitting down and doing your puzzle for 10 minutes, okay? It's really going to give you some more space in your brain. And let's get a little bit deeper and break it down for those of you who are like, this is too much. I like to break it down. Just pick one area where joy is missing. Okay, this is your section. All right, great. Take your pick. Baby steps. I love it. Just pick one area where joy is missing in your life and make one small shift this week. So one area either in your vision, your operations, or your marketing, whichever is your biggest pain point right now. Make one small shift this week to bring more joy into that area. And then let yourself experiment over the next 90 days to see what is going to make that better for you. Okay, in the spirit of fun and play, I would like to invite you to take my quiz. It is called What's Your Business Superpower? You can scan this QR code here, or you can take a picture, and later you can go to christyjohnsoncreative.com/quiz. And my name is spelled with an I. It's Christina minus the N-A. And if you take this quiz, it's going to send you a personalized playlist from my podcast, the Dream Biz Podcast. Yeah. I have 160 episodes, which can be overwhelming. So if you take this quiz, you're going to get about 10 sent to your inbox based on your business superpower. And if you don't like podcasts, if you're like, oh my gosh, I hate podcasts, that's great because I've written it all down for you. So you'll get written feedback as well. Yeah, so you'll get it some way.
love podcasts.
Yay!
It's so much easier to just listen while we're driving.
I know. I listen while I'm driving all the time to podcasts.
University on Wheels.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, and that's it. Thank you all so much. I really would love to see you. Thank you so much, and I'm excited for you all. So, yeah, let's make your dream biz a reality, shall we?
Yes.
Yay! Thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you.